What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another AFK Journey video. This one, we're going to be exploring the Ways of Intrigue talent season, or the season talents, rather. We've been sort of exploring the Pioneer server and going through a bit of the things. I want to cover mainly the heroes and some of the additional features and events. But the main thing that I was most excited for was the talents. Now, I want to start off with some of my major suggestions and then we'll jump into the video. But to start, I think that the big flaw with the talent system is that currently what's in place is a number of talents that just give raw stats. I think what needs to change about the raw stats in these talents in the talent system is that currently, while it does give a boost to your faction overall, I think it would much better serve if those buffs were much stronger and maybe temporary, and or if you include the system requiring 4 characters of that particular faction in order to utilize the faction talent system. It ends up just kind of becoming more of a it makes the faction bonuses that we're used to a little bit third rate and a little bit not as good. So in order to avoid that, I think what they need to do majorly with this talent system is remove the 4-person requirement. I don't mind there being something that requires a certain hero into an activated talent. Say if a talent is surrounded, like say used for tanks, for example, then or if it's something that procs, maybe it's less likely if you don't have as many. But I think what talents need to be in the new season is they need to be features that you have selected for a particular faction to happen in a game mode, say outside of typical game modes where you use a full faction bonus, things like PvP or things like Legend Trial, because the faction bonuses should basically incline the player base to play with something of a particular faction because of the bonuses they receive, versus the playing with the character that is just meta good. You know, I think that in most game modes outside of your standard, I mean, I guess you include AFK stages as well, but maybe not later AFK stages, but in most game modes, you're gonna get a slight benefit to having the faction bonus. But I think what this should do, it should encourage not just certain placement of heroes or using a certain faction, but also the positioning, class, and style of that faction. It should encourage experimentation with characters who are less likely used. So I don't think that's fully fleshed out in this, but I think it could be improved greatly by being in there. So let's watch the video, and then afterwards we're going to talk about my final thoughts as well. So let's check it out. Right, so it said check out Resonating Hall first. So let's see that. Season progress begins. No sound on there. I've had that happen before. Okay, so we have faction talents at the top here. Chippy's gut tells him that the season resonant hall has changed. It definitely has. New season, we should focus on upgrading season resonance level to become stronger. Okay. The resonance synergy bonus from the starter story will be valid. So that's the little top left thing here. So faction talent effects will replace faction bonuses in some game modes. Deploy 4 heroes of the same faction. Oh, so 4 is the requirement. I see. Okay, so a little bit of a text error here, but by the looks of it, it's showing that it's showing the talent trees here. And then each faction provides unique faction talents. To activate these talents, you need talent orbs. So basically, like your talent points, it would be equivalent to that. All right, activate a talent. Tap here to activate the talents. Chippy can feel your power growing. Okay, so it looks like this one is just raw HP and attack. Okay, it says own 4 light bearer heroes. That might have been the unlock requirements to get that orb particularly. So maybe some specific things get you them. This one, yeah, this one says own 4 light bearer heroes right below us. Maybe that's like the minimum requirement. Don't really see what else unlocks these, but you can see that it does require this talent orb to get it. So that's interesting. All right, so I mean, by the most part, it looks like just stat boosts. I was kind of more hoping for, Shadow inherits prime carrier character position on the top. So this positioning does matter. It does matter on this. Interesting. Shadow gains additional 12 to 14 points of penetration. What is Shadow? Interesting. It does look like a lot of these are just raw stat buffs. I guess I was more hoping for maybe skills that maybe either Merlin could use or abilities that we could use, you know, in amidst battle. But something that is interesting that I didn't see before is that there is multiple stages. So maybe I need to look at this a little bit more deep. So let's look at some of these bigger ones. When Prime Carrier is defeated, a Shadow remains. Oh, and inherits the Prime Carrier's energy. The Shadow gains 100 energy per second and will automatically cast Ultimate when its energy is full. Wow, some of these are going to be really unique. Now, it does seem that eventually, or it does seem like you will be able to kind of get there. You know, like a little bit pay to win on that scale. I mean, that's fine. I guess I had hoped it would be a bit more selective in that you could pick, if you're picking the left side, you can't pick the right side, but it doesn't say it's not. So I don't want to fully rule it out. Gain 1 extra talent buff tile. Okay, so the range of the tiles buffs is a little bit wider. There's a lot more strategy that's gonna go into this, it looks like. Let's see. Increase attack damage to more than 3. What is it? Normal attack damage to enemies more than 3 tiles away. Interesting. Some honor duel things from that. Increasing attack speed. That's going to be interesting. Gains 1 extra talent buff tile. Okay, so some of these do mirror each other. Let's see what this last one is. Fires an extra projectile at the weakest enemy. I think that's gonna be that to me is gonna be really cool to see. I want to see how much these differ overall. So life drain on this one, interesting. Maulers are gonna be the life drain. I would have expected that from Graveborn personally, but immune to the first fatal blow kind of makes sense with Brutus. Let's see. Ooh, restoring HP. So this is kind of like almost like a rally. 1 talent buff tile. That seems to be uniform across the board. Marks the rearmost enemy as a sacrifice. I like this. This feels very Warlock-esque. I like that the talents seem to go with the factions, except for maybe the life drain. I'd have to see more to really get that one. Restores 40% HP for all allies. I'm not a big fan of the stat increases, the raw stat increases personally. I would much prefer that not be the case. Even if it was particular heroes, I'd rather see that personally. Like give them like specific random abilities or something along those lines. But I guess it's not bad to have. It's just not very unique. I like these bigger ones though. I want to keep on exploring these. If both prime carriers remain in battle, their effects merge. Wow. And starting 3 seconds into battle, they release an attack with both original effects every 3 seconds. Wow. Some of these are very unique. All right, so we did get this one. The HP and attack, and then prime carrier uses ultimate to summon a shadow that casts the ultimate again. That's gonna be crazy. Interesting. Okay. So that was my first reaction to the talent system. I do like it a lot. I think that the main takeaways from the talent system, I think the most important is that definitely I am liking how the talents are really varied across factions. It's not just a copy pasta of just stat choices, but there is some copy pastas mixed in there. So I think something that ultimately can improve this is really digging into what each faction is made for and what they do well. You know, if Graveborn is going to be something that, you know, killing heroes to get benefits, then make that about it. You know, if Maulers is intended to be the lifesteal class faction, then that's totally fine. Let's make it about it. So as long as they dig further into these, I think these talent trees could be very interesting. The additional thing that we didn't talk about in this particular video is that there is going to be items that you can earn to reset and change talents. I'm really hoping that that's not something that's super inaccessible. I would prefer it be something that a system that allows people to experiment freely, as opposed to punish people for making choices that aren't the most meta at the time. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.